recap of who we think our greatest NBA teams are of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a couple of interesting points. Ed had some... Look, I agreed with 99% of what Ed said until he used the word GOAT with the wrong name next to it. And
according to who? Wrong name.
Look, according to most of society...
The other side is growing. Mr. LeBron James is cementing his name.
This is what I
as
think.
the GOAT.
This is what I think happens. I think anybody that's born pre 1985,
Yeah. Wow.
it considers Jordan the GOAT.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That sounds great.
I think anyone 85.
Which is when, pretty much when.
So when were you born?
LeBron was born.
When were you born?
I was born 85. He was born 84.
See, I didn't even know that, but I know
We're
it.
the same age. Yeah.
So I think what happens is anybody from 85 onwards, just because they don't really understand what class and quality is and how a man can change a game and still make billions of dollars after he's retired for the last 40. That's why I think...
LeBron, he started a school.
What? Wow.
A free school for students in Cleveland.
He started a free school.
A free school for students in Cleveland.
Jordan sponsors Paris Saint-Germain. Okay. Same.
LeBron is just as much as well as respected in a lot of ways. But for me, it's sort of, I'm the same age as him. Okay. To me, it's sort of, it rings different. And what he's achieved and the respect that he's gained over the years is just amazing. There's a reason why he's 99 on NBA 2K.
Yeah.
He's
I get it.
And the
2K
ranking means a lot these days.
And the fact that he's stacked every team that he's ever won a championship with.
What do you think Jordan did with Rodman
he stacked
and Pippen?
Massive stacking.
That was a massive
Bill
stacking.
Cartwright, Paxson, massive stacking. That one, I tell you. Every team would have loved to have Paxson in their team.
Look, Jordan
and Cartwright he came into the league at like 85 years old. Bill Cartwright
with that weird shooting angle, that weird.
Anyway,
shot.
This is not a GOAT debate today. Okay,
we're gonna have a GOAT debate. Coming soon.
We've had it for a while.
Yes.
Don't worry.
Right.
That GOAT debate has been
get
going
heated.
forever, and even the fact that
it's a debate that's running today.
Kobe's not even in any of your list. Wow. Anyway,
LeBron.
Our top 5 teams. We'll
top
do
5 teams.
Quick recap. I started with my number 5 as being the 2016-2017 Golden State Warriors.
Yep.
I had them as my number 5.
Mm-hmm.
Great team. Just stacked team. Kevin Durant, Green, Thompson, Curry. 16-1. Fantastic playoff record.
The record, yeah.
So... defeated the GOAT 4-1. Yeah?
Look, they had no choice but to call Kevin Durant to make it happen for him, so they couldn't do it the season before.
Okay, they had done it before that. They didn't need Durant
for that one. The season before was demoralising for them.
Didn't they use JaVale McGee for one of those? Well, so anyway, that was my number.
They used the Shackton, the GOAT Shackton,
the Shackton of full man. So there you go. So that's my number 5. Your number 5
my number 5 was the underrated 2002-2003 San Antonio Spurs team that won the championship that year. Yeah. It was sort of like a changing of the guard, sort of passing the torch from David Robinson through to Tim Duncan's era. Yeah. The start of the big 3. Manu Ginobili, Tony Parker, Tim Duncan. They won 3 more championships together in the next 10 years. So that's an amazing dynasty that they started. And look, there was the Twin Towers. Tim Duncan, that was the second championship that they won together. It was also a nice farewell to David Robinson. He averaged 3 blocks per game for his career.
Did Robert Horry win a title with them?
Yeah. Yeah, he got a clutch 3 in one of the finals. Right. He's a 7-time champion.
And very underrated player. Even though he's got all those rings. Yeah, come on.
He dissed T-Mac, my favourite player, Tracy McGrady.
How many rings has T-Mac got?
None.
Oh, wow.
Because he went on his show, and he said...
I didn't even know that. I just chucked it out there.
He went on his show, and he said, "Oh, hey, can I borrow one of those?" And we went, "No, man, you got to earn these."
Oh, wow.
Shot him down right on live TV.
I like T-Mac.
And there were so many memes from that, but T-Mac is my favourite player.
That'll be another think?
Yeah.
Raptors teammate or Magic teammate?
Magic.
Oh,
Magic.
okay.
He was a 3-time scoring champion.
Okay. Well, we'll get to that one.
Okay, we'll get to that one. We'll get to that. And what could have been if Grant Hill was healthy? With Dwight Howard. What could have been?
Yeah.
What could have been?
Yeah.
So, look, that Spurs team was my number 5.
Okay,
So,
number 5.
underrated team.
All right. Number 4, who'd you go number 4?
I went with the 2001 Lakers, Shaq and Kobe, the dynamic duo. Even Shaq to this day calls them the greatest duo ever.
Yeah.
They're very highly touted. Beginning of a three-peat it was. They were unstoppable. The averages that they had for the regular and playoff seasons were immaculate. They both scored almost 30 points a game each, both in the regular and playoff seasons. Shooting very high percentages as well. So they were the heart of their offense. They really got it done. And it was also sort of the beginning of the Hacker Shack.
Yep.
They couldn't contain Shaq. He was so dominant on the court that they'll have to just foul him all the time. So he takes foul shots with his special one-handed shot.
Pretty similar to what they were doing to Ben Simmons a few seasons ago, but let's not compare Shaq and Ben Simmons, right?
I got a soft spot for Ben Simmons. Let's just put it that way. It's time for another podcast.
Yeah,
I got a soft spot for my boy.
I just like people that try.
My fellow Aussie.
Yeah, I know. You've got a soft spot for your Aussie. Well, for that same reason of what a few things that you just said there was they made my number 2 in the top 5. So agreed. Again, second best playoff record, 15-1. Shaq scoring in game 2 over 40 points. They beat the San Antonio Spurs that were first seed in the Western Conference. So I thought that was just a great team. The Finals MVP Shaq, like averaging 30 points a game, almost 16 rebounds almost a game. Like that's just unheard of, you know. So yeah, just a dominant team. Yeah, so I had them as my number 2. So look, we're not too far off.
Okay.
We agree with a few things. That was your number 4.
Okay.
So
What did you tell me your number 4?
my number 4 was I didn't. My number 4 was it was a nostalgic selection. Okay.
My Spurs was nostalgic.
Okay.
It was
So it's
emotional.
it's a more emotional, personal pick. It might not be everybody's pick, but mine was the 86-87 Lakers.
Showtime Lakers.
Showtime Lakers. The legendary coach Pat Riley, Magic Johnson, Kareem, Worthy, Green. I just think that was just one of those teams that, like I was saying before, just one of those teams that set the benchmark for good looking basketball. Just appealing to the eyes. And like I was saying, nostalgic reasons. I was 8 years old. It's probably one of the first games that we wore. It was very hard to watch NBA games back in the day.
In Australia. Yeah.
So we were getting dribs and drabs. So it's just one of those nostalgic teams, but I thought that they kind of set a precedent going forward to just what NBA teams needed to be and who they needed to beat, the type of teams they needed to be, Magic was, apart from the fact that they beat the Boston Celtics, so that was like a little bit of a cherry on top. Good playoff record, 15-3, good season, 65-17. So they made my number 4 of greatest
Great
teams.
team, legendary team.
Yeah.
Those Showtime Lakers.
Yep.
Great.
Your number 3.
My number 3 is the 2016-17 Warriors, arguably the greatest team ever assembled, with Draymond, Klay Thompson, Curry, and the major signing of Kevin Durant. And as I said, look, they couldn't get it done without Durant. Basically, that's what they had to call him up to get him the record that they eventually had in the finals. They beat the Lakers record of 15-1. They got 16-1. They had one better, so the percentage was better. Unstoppable they were. From 3, from all over the court. They just spaced the fast break. They just had it all. So that record was what they had. They also had the those 4 players were all in the All-Star game that season. So they were just really a formidable team. They got the job done and they won the championship that season with Kevin Durant winning the MVP.
Yeah.
Very much deserved. Finals MVP, that is.
Yep.
That's my number 3.
Yeah, good number 3. 3 of those players all averaging over 20 points. I think it was like 22 points.
Yeah.
That's big to have 3 players averaging over 20 points.
Yeah, that's way majority of your points.
So my number 3 was the 91-92 Chicago Bulls.
Okay.
Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, Paxson, Cartwright. Their second title on the run to three-peat. I just think that was a team that kind of cemented that they were going to become a legacy. They were going to get that three-peat. They were just dominant.
Another plane.
Yeah, look, they didn't have a great playoff series, 15-7, but just got it done. Like, it was like they knew they were going to get it done. You had Jordan, Pippen played fantastic, 21 points average for Pippen. So Horace Grant averaging like 14 rebounds a game. Sorry, about 10 rebounds a game, I think it was. Beat Patrick Ewing's Knicks.
Huge.
So
they had quite a rivalry.
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of cemented as well Phil Jackson as, hey, this guy's going to be a super coach. You know? So, yeah, look, I just think that team there was the start of something big for the Bulls.
Yeah.
So that's why they made my 91-92. Yeah.
Number 3 pick.
That's my number 3 pick.
Interesting.
So,
okay, so what about number 2s?
So my number.
You gave me your number 2s.
I gave him my number 2. My number 2 was the 2001 Lakers.
Yeah.
So we already discussed them and why we both think they make the top 5. Or
they made your number 2, so you must have thought very highly of them.
I did. I think they were
my number 4, man.
A fantastic team.
Great team. Unstoppable duo.
Yeah, I just think that they another one of those super teams where you'll remember. You know.
Yeah.
Like I said, we both had them in the top 5, so I'll give you.
And a 3-peat isn't easy to get. So look, and they got that done with the greatest
100%.
coach of all time, Phil Jackson.
100%.
He more than cemented his place in history already, but then he just really finalised it, put that nail in the coffin, if you will, and just really said, look, I'm here, I'm the best. So he had an awkward. Did you read his novel?
Whose?
Phil Jackson. It's called 11 Rings.
A novel or autobiography?
Not a novel. Autobiography. It's a story of Phil Jackson.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, look, he united his teams to be able to just push that one further and to go somewhere that no other team was going.
Right.
And sort of they put their minds in a sort of state where they could overcome anything that came their way. So, and that's what he did.
Oh, great coach.
Wonderful coach. So number 2 picks for me is the 95-96 Bulls. You'll be happy with that one.
Yeah.
Because it's your GOAT, Michael Jordan.
It's everybody's
Not
goat.
the GOAT.
It's everybody's goat.
72-10 record for all-time wins in the regular season. They achieved that season. It was the record at the time. It was sort of, look, Jordan came back. He retired for one season, came back for half the season in the season previous, the 94-95 season. Didn't do too well, number 45. He came back with an impact. He said, look, no, I'm ready. He trained harder, and that was it. And he did what had to be done. They won that record. But look, I think a large part of that is because of Luc Longley, the legend. The defensive stalwart, the Australian stallion.
Stallion.
That's not even the right
more like a Clydesdale.
Kangaroo.
He's one of those massive workhorses, like a Clydesdale.
Yeah.
You know?
Clydesdale. Okay. Different Bronco.
Yeah. No, Clydesdale.
Okay. Clydesdale.
Google it one day. Yeah.
I shall.
They got hairy feet. Like the hair goes over.
Maybe we should message.
Maybe producer Ben will put a picture of a Clydesdale up on the.
Oh, are these the ones that give you tours through the streets and all the Clydesdales?
No, they kind of like drag semi-trailers through the street or something.
Oh, right, okay.
They're massive. Okay. They're just these. They're just a workhorse. Don't worry, producer Ben will put a photo up of a Clydesdale.
He was very effective, Luc Longley. He was very effective. Look, he was very disrespected, having been left out of The Last Dance, the Netflix documentary. He wasn't even in it. But Jordan came out last year and he gave an interview stating how if it wasn't for Luc Longley being presence in the team, they wouldn't have achieved what they achieved with their 3-peat. So look, he wasn't the best player in the team. Obviously, Michael Jordan was, but just that respect he deserves. So I think more people need to know about that.
Yeah, look,
But the team themselves was it was the start of another three-peat.
Yeah.
Their second three-peat, and they achieved that with Dennis Rodman, one of the greatest teams of all time assembled.
Can you imagine getting 2 3-peats? Imagine the greatest player of all time getting 2 3-peats. Can you imagine? Can you imagine what that would be like to go and play a different sport after your father's been murdered and then come back and I'll just win another 3 titles.
LeBron had a three-peat in finals losses.
Yeah, I was going to say...
the GOAT.
With reverse GOAT. What is this?
Reverse GOAT.
What is this? I'm thinking, not everything's NBA 2K based, yeah? Like, there's a real life outside of...
He's 99. He's been 99 for how long on NBA 2K? LeBron.
He must have shares in it. He must.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The stats speak. It's all about the numbers. Okay. It's a numbers game.
Mate, I made a player on 2K with my own name on it, and I gave myself like a 99 rating. It doesn't mean... Look at his body. Does this look like a 99 rated body?
Yeah, no, but you gave it to yourself. You gave it to LeBron.
LeBron gave it to himself.
The creators of the greatest NBA game
He's got a lot of pull, that LeBron. I don't trust him. All right, so to add our number 1, well, I'm going to just piggyback off what
you didn't give me a number 2.
No, I did give you my number 2. I told you my
it was. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm piggybacking off your number 2 because your number 2 is my number 1.
Okay. Oh, okay.
All right, so you're
the same Bulls.
95-96 Bulls, 72-10 record at the time until the stacked Warriors decided that they were going to cheat.
No notes on Luc Longley, obviously.
Oh, if only they had Luc Longley. They had the other Aussie, didn't they? I don't know if they win. Did they get the 73-9 with Bogut? Was Bogut there? I don't remember. I like Bogut.
Yeah, he was there. Zaza won their championship with Durant, their first championship with Durant.
There you go. I like Bogut.
Bogut, yeah.
So, mate, 44-game winning streak for that Bulls team. Massive. 37-0 at home at the start of the season. Massive. 33 consecutive wins on the road. Mate, no, not consecutive. On the road wins. 33 away wins. Massive. Beat the Supersonics 4-2. 15-3 playoff record. Not too shabby. Good record. One person that I think doesn't get the limelight as well as Luc Longley, as much as obviously Luc Longley got shunned.
He was a starter.
Dramatically. I got plenty of time for Luc Longley. I think he's fantastic. Yeah. Tony Kukoc.
Yes. 100%.
I thought he was an asset to that team.
Yeah, he was.
And yeah, look, that team is just one of those teams. Like Dennis Rodman, his stats were like rebounding stats were through the roof. I think he had like 15 rebounds a game or something ridiculous like that. I just think that's one of those teams that when you jump into your 2K that you like talking about and you look at teams, that 95-96 Bulls team is always going to be there. And majority of those players are going to have a 99 rating, I reckon. So for me, to win 72 games in that era, I think...
Yeah, that was the record at the time. And they were actually the only team to ever make 70 wins in a season in the history of the NBA. Yeah. Only one team has done it since, and that's the Warriors, but they couldn't seal the deal with a championship. They got the 73-9. But they couldn't seal the deal like Jordan did with his team.
And not only that, you could excuse Jordan. I know he's not your GOAT, but you could excuse Jordan for... He's just come back from a traumatic experience with his dad, leaving the sport, not knowing if he's ever going to return, to then the next following season to win a ring again. Like, that's just determination.
And to get the record, he had to sort of retrain himself how to adapt his game because his body changed. You know, like he was obviously older. He that's when he started shooting those fadeaways, those really effective fadeaways that he had. He brought that into his arsenal. Yeah. He wasn't as zippy as he was in the past, but he concentrated more on his passing, his three game as well, and became a bit more of a team player, I think, by then.
Yeah, so I just think that team...
That's your number one.
I like... If someone ever tells me greatest team ever, I always think of that 95, 96 team.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
you haven't given me your greatest team ever.
My greatest team ever.
Oh, this is going to hurt. I can feel it.
The 2015-16 Cleveland Cavaliers with the GOAT LeBron James winning the first and only so far championship for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Their first championship in 50 years out of any of the major sports.
Yeah, stack team. We'll just buy the best players of every
LeBron got
team.
the job done. That's what he did, and that's why I call him my GOAT. The Golden State Warriors, that team, like we just discussed, won 73-9. They had a 73-9 record in the regular season. But look, the Cavs, they came back from 3-1 down in the playoffs, in the finals.
I'll pay that.
Against all odds. And LeBron did it. And who's ever going to forget that block he did at the end, dying minutes against Andre Iguodala?
Wow.
Bang! Just blocks it onto the board. Iguodala could have had the points for the chip. Maybe he would have won the finals MVP, but no, it was LeBron. LeBron, he did what needed to be done, and he was effective. And that's my number one team.
And that makes that team the greatest team ever.
The only team ever to achieve the feat of winning from 3-1 down. So many teams have done it, but no one has ever won a championship coming back from 3-1 down the way LeBron did with his team, with his big three. Jordan had a big three.
Do you reckon if my 95-96 Bulls were up 3-1 against your Cavaliers, you guys would have come back and beaten that team?
Yeah. Kevin Love is way better than Luc Longley.
Luc Longley, you had so much love for Luc Longley like a few minutes ago.
Yeah, but I'm saying,
wow, you just
through time.
I'm sorry, Luke. If one day you
Luke,
ever
was
watch
Luc
this,
Longley part of their big three? Was he part
I apologise on behalf of Ed.
Was he part of their big three? No.
I haven't seen SBS or ABC do a documentary on Kevin Love. I'll tell you that. I've never heard Jordan.
Why would he relegate himself to ABC Australia?
Phil Jackson. Kevin Love looks like a retired science teacher. Wow.
With his greys showing.
Wow. You know what I think you should do one day, Ed?
What?
I think you should turn on your NBA 2K and set up your Cavaliers team and the 95-96 Bulls and don't even touch the controller. Just sit there.
Leave it on auto.
Leave it on auto and set it for a full game. And I'm intrigued to see what would happen.
I will. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it tonight.
This is going to be an experiment.
2 minutes a quarter. We'll see what happens.
Not even 2 minutes. Leave it for the full...
12-minute quarters.
Make it a full game.
Okay.
I'm intrigued to see what would happen.
I'll do it.
If your beloved 2K that gives LeBron a 99 rating,
I'll show you.
Will give him the win.
I will show you. That team versus that 2015-16 Cavs team that beat the Warriors with the record that they had
would dominate the 95-96
100%.
Bulls.
LeBron, he's way more effective. He's a way better passer than Pippen. They're the same position, small forwards. He's way better passer, way better shooter. He's way more effective in the paint than Pippen was. Pippen was just athletic and he fed off the fruits that Jordan gave him, basically.
Wow.
I don't believe Pippen should even be a Hall of Famer.
Daddy,
to be honest.
I can't.
It's just that
I can't even.
It's just they were all a part of the hype. It was all part of. And look what he's saying about LeBron.
Well,
he's actually saying good things about LeBron.
What people do you?
Brother, I don't want to go there.
You don't think Pippen should be a Hall of Famer?
I don't think he should even be a Hall of Famer, to be honest. He was just feeding off the fruits that Jordan gave him.
Right.
Jordan was the man of that team. And Pippen was just there. He was just there who else is he going to go to?
Look, we're now going deep into the dungeons. So who would, in this era, this is
another half an hour.
Producer Ben is having a heart attack.
Okay, we're having a heart attack. We're getting distracted because
I think
our emotions are tied up in this.
We're going to have a discussion one day about who we believe will be a future Hall of Famer, because I think you might be a little bit confused of what defines what
you
a
might
Hall
find
of Famer
you might find that
should
controversial, but is James really worthy of a Hall of Fame?
I believe he is. I do. I think he was a great asset to the team. But we're talking a different era as well.
Doesn't matter, different era. We're looking at the skills of someone.
Saying Bill Russell doesn't deserve all his rings because he was playing against trained monkeys that could shoot.
Basically, that's how he won. But
he got
athletically, is he as good as Tim Duncan? No. You can't say the big fundamental. No, he has all the skills.
Okay. That's going to be another one.
Jokic is another freak altogether. Like, how can you say, look, Bill Russell, look, and no disrespect to him, but look, he won his 11 rings, but times change, you know?
Okay. I agree. Times
And
change.
he was the GOAT of an era, but look, the time has changed, and we're looking towards new GOATs.
Yeah. I've got my GOAT. I've got my new, old, future, forever GOAT.
Forever GOAT.
And that'll be another conversation, Ed.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to shake your hand. I think that was a good fight.
Good session.
You know what? We nailed 3. I think we got 3 in our top 5.
Yeah, we did. We got some of the same teams.
Surprised me because I thought you were just going to put 5 Cavaliers teams in there.
I thought you were going to put all Bulls, but
But then I realised that LeBron has a 1-5 so.
He's there. He's getting there, man. They're rebuilding. They're restructuring. Yeah. It's going to happen.
Bronny will win one for
it's going to happen.
that was good.
He's okay, cool. I think that's all done for the first episode.
We're done.
The test episode.
We're done.
We're done. Done skis.